In that quiet orchard, every branch bowed under the weight of ripe fruit, glowing softly in the morning light. Each morning, the young village girl walked gently along the narrow path toward her beloved garden. The orchard shimmered with life, its leaves dancing lightly as sunlight filtered through the trees. She moved carefully between the trees, tending them with patience and a quiet sense of belonging. With soft, steady hands, she began picking the ripest fruits, placing them neatly into her basket. She continued gathering more fruits, her basket slowly filling with the sweetness of her garden. As the basket slowly filled with gathered fruit, her small wooden cottage stood peacefully beyond the garden, surrounded by flowers and soft green paths. Before heading to the market, she carefully washed each fruit, letting clear water carry away the dust of the earth. Lifting the baskets with steady hands, she began her walk toward the village market. Just then, a young man arrived on horseback, the very one whose presence carried an unspoken proposal. The village around them glowed with quiet beauty, its paths and fields alive under the gentle sun. The young man paused by her side, asking about the fruits with a curious and thoughtful gaze. With calm confidence, she answered him softly, and before long, he chose the finest fruits and bought them. With a gentle smile, she handed him the fruits with quiet grace, her hands steady and warm. She returned home carrying her now empty baskets, her steps light with a quiet sense of accomplishment. Inside her cottage, she carefully gathered and counted the coins she had earned, placing them safely. Her garden stood as her silent strength, its trees heavy with ripened fruit and quiet promise, reflecting the reward of her patience. Later, she led her goats out into the open fields, guiding them softly as they grazed under the wide sky. Up on a quiet hillside, she let her goats wander and graze beneath the open sky. She gathered the fresh eggs from her chickens, placing them carefully into a small woven basket. Her village lay wrapped in simple beauty, with soft paths, green fields, and a calm, timeless rhythm. She tended to her chickens with care, feeding them and watching over them with gentle attention. The village river flowed with a quiet grace, its clear waters reflecting the sky and surrounding trees. She walked to the river's edge and sat there for a while, letting the calmness of the water settle her thoughts. After some time, she returned to her garden, stepping once again into the place she cherished most. She carefully arranged and cared for her garden, tending each tree and plant with loving patience. Looking around at the ripened fruits hanging from every branch, she felt a deep and quiet happiness grow within her. Her basket brimmed quietly with the orchard's finest offerings, gathered with care and purpose. Her village stretched in gentle beauty, where every path and field carried a sense of calm belonging. Those fruits became her quiet strength, filling large baskets with the promise of something greater ahead. She stepped onto the familiar path that led toward the market, each step carrying her closer to independence. The road to the market unfolded through fields and soft winds, guiding her forward with silent encouragement. At the market, she arranged her fruits neatly, their colors drawing the attention of passing eyes. With quiet confidence, she continued placing them with care, as though each one held a part of her journey. Before long, she offered her fruits once again, sharing their sweetness with those who came to her stall. She gathered her earnings once more, realizing how her small garden had begun to shape a life of quiet stability. Her village rested in simple beauty, where every corner carried the warmth of familiar days. Her fruit orchard stood as her greatest blessing, a place that had slowly turned her efforts into abundance. The village around her remained gentle and timeless, holding her journey within its peaceful rhythm. Her garden now overflowed with fruits, a reflection of how far she had come through patience and hope. As evening fell, she lit a small fire for herself, seeking warmth and a moment of calm after the day's work. Night slowly settled around her, and she remained seated in her garden, wrapped in silence as the world grew still.